Hey there, fellow YouTubers. So did you check the date today? Was it an unlucky one for you? Well, it was for BP. I'll get back to this story in a second, but first, here's the real story. Alabama Attorney General sues BP and others over Gulf oil spill. Yeah, it's a biggie. And as you can see down here below, I'll leave a link as per usual to everything that I show. I usually always try to make sure that I have a link down below in the description box. Just click on those sergeant arrows that'll open up the description box, and you go check out read the story for yourself. And as I zoom through it, you can hit the spacebar anytime while you're watching YouTube, and it'll pause the video and then hit the spacebar again and unpause it. So here we go. The good one in this whole thing was how there was at least 300 federal lawsuits have been filed in 12 states against BP and other three main companies involved in the April 20th explosion. So that's really good news. I'm very happy. I know some of you, well, no, they'll get away with it. No, not this time here. They're not getting away with this. This is why the webbots predicted that this whole scenario, this oil spill, was going to create a revolutionary movement. You're darn right. They're going to be disgusted. This time here, the oil's not out in Alaska. It's much bigger. For one thing, if you listen to Philip Cousteau, he was mentioning how if there's only 1/4 of the oil left that actually spewed out, that would leave the actual oil left in the ocean 5 times bigger than the Alaska Exxon Valdez incident. So this is way bigger. The oil that we've seen hitting the beaches is just the first wave of it. The devastation is going to be much bigger. You know, I've seen these stories about these dead fish here. I'm not really going to work on them too much because it could actually be the hot water. It can, and I'm not 100% sure that it's the toxic oil, so I'm not going to post anything on that, unfortunately. But thanks for the link, everyone. I've received several people that sent me some good stories on the fish that have been dying. New Jersey, Alabama, Mississippi, New Orleans. There's been New Orleans was hit 3 times, if I'm not mistaken, with large numbers of dead fish. So it could be the oil. I'm not sure. But there's been unusual high temperatures in the ocean and hot water, low oxygen possibility. Okay, so what was good in this one here? This one here, well, it mentioned how many folks had claims have been put in. Here we go. 148,000 claims with $347 million in claims since May 3rd. That's chump change, $347 million. And there was still 40,000 claims that were still outstanding. The real good one was, oh yeah, there was enough oil to fill 311 Olympic-sized swimming pools. Yeah, definitely the biggest maritime disaster. Okay, going back to that first story. So BP wants to proceed with the relief well after the test. So the test has been done, and basically they found out here that General Coast Guard Admiral Allen, yes, that's his name, and sorry about that, Alan, but there's been a lot of line, and we're kind of getting sick and tired of it. But I got to play along with the game here, what they're giving us, what they're feeding us, and this is what they're saying here. They're going with they're going to follow through with this bottom kill because they found some pressure, and they're afraid that it's going to, the pressure within the 13,000 feet beneath the seabed, that relief well might let go. I mean, sorry, the casing might let go or might be compromised, and the well would continue seeping through the seabed. And those of us that are in the know, well, doesn't that kind of already play into what we're already been told by Lindsey Williams, Matt Simmons? Philip Cousteau went out there. He saw the big oil plumes. There was independent researchers. If you saw that story I posted a little earlier today, there was independent researchers who've been told to shut up basically by the government, NOAA, and they found exactly the same thing. There was massive oil plumes out there. So if all these people are right, and if Matt Simmons is right and Lindsey Williams, because they kind of put a number on things, they said like in the 80,000 to 120,000 gallons per day coming out in a 150-foot crack in the bottom of the ocean floor, 7 to 10 miles away from the actual well site. If this is true, well, we're just seeing the very beginning of the devastation. That's why this they want to go down further and plug it down 13,000 feet deeper because they're hoping they can seal off that whole area where the casing is and they're already scanned the whole bottom of the ocean floor. They have an idea exactly where it's seeping out. Anyways, one of the interesting stories about this new claim here is that they didn't set a damage figure, so they're going to leave this open, and it's going to be decided in the courts, and they're going to look at the long-term effects of this, and that's very good, because remember one of those videos I posted about the Alaska oil spill? It was 21 years later now, and scientists have predicted that it would take approximately another minimum 50 more years before the beach would return to its original state. Folks down in the Gulf Coast don't have 70 more years to wait for things to come back, and not just that, with a larger number of oil gallons escaped or leaked, they're going to suffer a bigger devastation. If you saw that, my YouTuber friend Picola Greg, he's down on Pensacola Beach, he put a video up there, and he was showing how there's already like 4 or 5 layers, approximately 4 to 5 inches apart from each other, layers of oil within the beach that's been gathered up and washed away back and forth with the tide. Who's going to want to go on holidays there? Who's going to want to buy seafood from the Gulf Coast? You know, it's just, I hate to say it, but the webbots, I think they're correct on this one too. There's going to be tens of thousands of people that will evacuate the Gulf Coast, and it'll be a voluntary one. I'm not sure if it'll be the ill winds, but I know one thing: the economics of stuff is not going to look good there for a long time. And if that's not a reason to pack it in with your family and move away to somewhere else, and Picola Greg, sell your condo. I've told you guys, you know, history tours, get out of there. It's time to pack up, guys. Get out now. We're going for a Great Depression. It's time to move out to greener pastures somewhere else. Save some cash, get some gas, and get ready to go. Anyhow, I hate to sound so doom and gloom, but that's the way I feel about stuff. I'm really big on the economy of things, and I predicted the September 2008 crash right to the exact date, folks. I'm not here to brag about stuff. I'm here to warn you. You got to get ready, because the next crash is coming up soon, and we're heading into the world's biggest depression. It's all about 2012. It's about the cycles of stuff, the cycle of money, cycle of power. It's a whole bunch of stuff all mixed together. I hope you do your own research. Anyways, I just wanted to post a little bit of good news on a Friday the 13th, and hopefully BP really sucks a big one soon, and Matt Simmons right, their stocks falls to zero, because Matt Simmons said he had never shorted a stock in his life, and he did, because he was 100% sure that BP would not recover from this one here. If they promise and they live through, they stick with their promise of cleaning up the mess, the entire mess, to zero, they'll never make it. It's going to cost trillions. They're going to go bankrupt. So if you got money, you want to short BP, go ahead. You're going to make some money, guaranteed. Personally, I've invested in silver and gold bullion. So to each his own. You'll never be alone. Take care, folks. Hope you had a great weekend, or you're about to have a great weekend, because we're only Friday night here on the West Coast. Take care.